Okay, today I'm going to talk about this fellow named Peter. Peter's a young man, he's 10 years old, and some changes have happened at school, and what that's resulted in is that he's really challenged to stick to his routine. He can't easily make the transition from school back home, and he's more interested in walking than doing anything else. It's really beginning to have an effect on his life and on the life of the people around him. As I said, he's 10 years old, he's got Down syndrome. He also carries a moderate mental retardation diagnosis. He has some allergies for which he takes Singulair, that being his only medication. He's in special ed classes at school all day long, in which there is a new teacher and new staff. Where he's showing progress is that he's able to count money better and tell time. He's making his own snacks, brushing his teeth, and bathing. Those outcomes have increased. The problem is, and that's why I brought him up today, is that he can't really seem to follow his normal schedule and he can't stay on task. In general, his eating and sleeping have remained the same. His weight has the same, but his activity level has increased. As I said, the walking seems to be happening all the time. He does make friends easy. He communicates really well. He's good at helping around the house. He lives with his grandmother, who's his guardian. His mom and dad are just not in the picture at all. Grandma, as his only family support, and her health is beginning to fail. He's fairly healthy himself. So the issue is, the issue that I'm presenting is, what can we do to help him get back into his normal routine and make this transitions between school to home and home to school a little better.
Okay. A couple of things you said. You said he communicates well.
Mm-hmm.
Have you asked him why he's wanting to walk and why he doesn't want to transition?
Yeah, well, the direct service staff said that in their conversations, it seems that it does a couple of things. It gets him out of a situation that's maybe causing him some anxiety, but it also discharges that anxiety. It's a physical way to get some of that anxiety out.
Right. And his activities levels increasing. Is that just with the walking, or is that everything?
As far as we know, it's just the walking.
Okay. And with his goals, the goals we're working on, I'm assuming we're going straight into training goals after school. Are we giving him the downtime, like maybe setting a clock and say, okay, let's walk? And are the goals we're working on, are they things where he has to sit still at a desk or a table, or are they active? Can we do the active goals first or last? Or
yeah, well, that's a really good idea, and we can talk about the schedule with a direct service person to make sure that there is some time to discharge some energy. So he's got to make that transition first before he can focus. And once he can focus, obviously he's doing well on quite a number of his goals here. But yeah, we could definitely alter the schedule so that he's got the more active stuff at the beginning of the training session. And we may have to include some time just for him to discharge this energy so that he can make the transition a little better.
Yeah, I'm afraid if he doesn't, he might start losing ground with some of the things he's making.
Yeah, and he's doing well on a lot of stuff.
So another thing that really concerned me, he said he's 10 years old.
Yeah.
Family's gone, and his grandma takes care of him. Is his grandma's guardian?
Grandma's guardian.
And she's not doing well.
Yep.
So what's going to happen when grandma passes away? Has the team talked about that?
No, they haven't. And that's something that we need to start pushing, because the inevitable will happen.
Right.
Her health is already failing, and we need to take that as a signal to start having those conversations about a successor guardian and maybe introducing other family members or neighbors. So if grandma has to go to the hospital, what happens?
What are some of the options that you're thinking of possibly? I mean, right off the top of my head, I'm thinking group home, AFL, foster care.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those are some things that come right up in my brain.
You know, a 10-year-old fellow like this, I think would transitioning into a really good AFL would be a wonderful option for him. If we could find somebody that was close, so grandma could still be a big part of his life.
Right.
Might be a good option for both of them, really.
What about his current staff? How long have they worked with him? I mean, he has new staff, but is that at school or is that with us?
That's new staff here.
New staff
Yeah,
here,
so
okay.
there's new staff at Turning Point, and there's also a new teacher at school.
I was thinking maybe his staff currently might be able to, or interested in an AFL, but I don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what their lifestyle is like or if they're interested, but yeah,
Mhm.
we need to be looking at that.
Yeah. And if we were in a large office where there were a whole bunch of queues sitting around during this conversation, maybe somebody would have a suggestion of a potential AFL provider.
Right. Okay.